Good evening, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the annual meeting of the council. If you could start off, please, on item agenda number 1, so the evacuation procedure. So there is a location plan of exits and the assembly point situated on the doors of these rooms. Please familiarise yourself with it. On discussing a fire, please carry out the following: sound the alarm, attack the fire if possible and safe to do so using the appliances provided. On hearing the evacuation signal, please carry out the following: exit the building by your nearest safest exit, which is either at the front or when you come through the entrance. All visitors report to the assembly point G. All staff report to the designated assembly point on Woolpack Cutway car park. And please do not leave the assembly point for any reason until told to do so by the incident controller or the fire brigade officer. Before we go on to item number 2, could we all please just take a minute silence for Councillor Brian Moss? If you're able to stand, that'd be great, thank you. Thank you. Do we have anybody who would like to say any remarks for Councillor Brian Moss? Councillor Richard Jones.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Brian was my fellow councillor for you, there. So I would like to say a few words about it. One of my first memories of Brian, I think probably my very first memory of Brian when I moved to Kingsbury in the early 1980s, was to see him at the top of a wobbly ladder, wobbling around, trying to nail an election poster onto a telegraph pole. I don't think I really knew who he was at that time, but later on I did get to know him quite well. We were, not long after that, we were both straw governors together. A little later after that, we were parish councillors together, and later still, we were both representing Kingsbury on the Borough Council here in this chamber. So yeah, Brian served as a councillor, as many of you will know, for over 40 years on both Kingsbury Parish Council and here on North Warwickshire Borough Council. He was twice mayor. He chaired the parish council on no fewer than 6 separate occasions. And he also represented Kingsbury for 12 years on Warwickshire County Council, where he was chairman for one of those years. We can see that his was a life really of public service, but there was much more to him than that. There was his family. He had a very successful teaching career in this country and in Africa. He had a keen interest in photography, and anybody who knew him know that he did travels all over the world over many decades by bicycle and motorcycle. I'm going to miss Brian, but his was a life well lived, and I don't think it was a life, with any regrets. So I think we can be sort of pleased that we had a good life, and my memory of him will be at the top of that ladder rather than of him as as he was in the last couple of years of his life. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Councillor Parsons.
Thank you, Chair. Like Andy, I met Brian in the early 80s, 1981, I think, on a canoeing course for the teachers. On that particular occasion, I didn't have a good night. I ended up swimming 5 or 6 times. So, yeah, wasn't altogether good. Brian's progress was a lot more stately, and he enjoyed the evening and had a good time. He was a fascinating man to talk to. It was on that occasion that I learned about his travels, and quite frequently apparently packed his family into a car and drove to Saudi Arabia during a 6-week summer holiday. He'd also done it on motorcycles and goodness knows what else. And Brian was an excellent local councillor, always concerned. And actually a thoroughly decent and nice man. I shared many lifts to the county council with him when he served on the county council at Warwick. Always enjoyed his company and his very significant sense of humour. I think from the point of view of local people, they probably knew that Brian was a go-to man for any problem. See, he was a thoroughly good local councillor, but probably not the man to buy a second-hand car or motorcycle. Sand in the engine, I'm afraid. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Parsons. Councillor Hayfield.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, those of us who've been on here long enough will have back full of memories of Brian Moss. And the stories he told, he was always good at telling stories of his adventures. And he was a great traveller. He told me once that he would, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but he was a good story, that he would turn up at Birmingham Airport with his passport and just see what flights were open for sort of for ready money there that day and go off somewhere for a few days. Sounds like, no, if it isn't true, I wish it was. He certainly used to go around Africa on a bicycle and go village to village on his bicycle, and would leave his bicycle there, come back here, and then go out again, pick up his bicycle and go round about. And he was always very free with his stories, very funny stories about his encounters and who he met and what he got up to and everything. I don't know the depths of his involvement in Kingsbury, because I don't know Kingsbury all that well. But he was fundamentally a very kind and friendly man, with a deep love of North Warwickshire and Kingsbury in particular. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We all, I'm sure, have our personal memories of Brian. I will remember him as a friend. I remember him for his stories. I remember him particularly, the one story I always remember was a night such as tonight when we were electing a mayor. And on this occasion we were electing Brian. And he was regaling us with a story about how he'd been cycling in the bush, and on one particular occasion a herd of wild animals started following him, getting ever faster. And he shared to the then council, well, I sat to myself thinking, this is the end, I'll never be mayor of North Warwickshire now. And he, as we all know, Brian was mayor twice. He leaves a great legacy. Brian was a gentleman. Beyond everything else, he was a true and faithful servant of the public of the old school. And I think we'll all remember him with great fondness.
Thank you. Anybody else?
It's reminded me of the one time we talked about his car, and again, like many of us, Brian became a friend. It's not someone I knew for a long period of time, but he was incredibly funny, and his stories that he regaled us with really did make me laugh. But my overriding memory of Brian was trying to avoid parking near him in the car park. because he would just reverse into things. And the one time we watched him reverse over and over again into a small wall was quite entertaining. But just a word to the mayor and then incoming mayors about how you store the chain. Brian's method of storing the chain in his car was legendary. He had a bit of 2x4 that went from the front all the way to the back, and he hung the chain over it. And that perhaps isn't the best way to store the chain. That and his huge chain that went round the actual accelerator and a clamp, as if anyone would have ever stolen Brian's car. It was like a moving chain. So for that, he always brought the laughs, and very much to any of us across party, a lot of kindness. And I think he'll be very, very fondly missed.
Thank you. I can safely say I didn't store the chain across the 2x2 in the back of the car.
You, says the chief executive.
Anybody else? I'd just like to add my own couple of thoughts really. So I didn't have the privilege of being a councillor alongside Councillor Brian Moss. I was councillor after Brian, but I did have the privilege of knowing him as a fellow resident of Kingsbury, and bumped into him quite a lot. He was very active in the village, and attending his funeral to listen to his two boys and his grandchildren and the amazing adventures and memories and that they built over the years was extremely warming. So yeah, I'm sure we're all going to miss him lots. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So if you could move on to item number 2, please. To elect the mayor of the borough for the ensuing year. So do I have a proposal, please? Councillor Million? Do you want to make some remarks? Thank you.
Councillors, I'd like to propose Councillor Davina Ridley to be this year's mayor for North Warwickshire Borough Council. I've known Davina for several years, and we've both served the people of Dordon in North Warwickshire and on parish and on the borough. During this time, I've noticed Davina's. She always conducts herself in a very professional and appropriate manner, no matter what circumstances are thrown at her. She's extremely dedicated in all the work that she does for all the communities. Davina, I would say with what you would call life experience, nothing phases her, and she is determined in her pursuit for the right outcome on any situation. She was one of the leading figures, as you all know, in writing and being responsible for the Dordon Neighbourhood Plan, which is now being relied upon and is seen as the way forward to help shape and protect vulnerable areas such as Dordon. She has an excellent sense of humour and is always positive and optimistic. Her enthusiasm for North Warwickshire Borough Council comes from her love of the area and its heritage and all the communities. So I wish to propose Davina as mayoress, as I have no doubt that she will put her heart and soul into this role and would be a great ambassador to represent this council and its residents with the utmost enthusiasm and integrity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I have a proposer. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Simpson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm actually delighted and honoured to propose Davina as the second Davina for Mayor of the Borough. It's some time since I did anything like this, and I was encouraging everyone to vote Piglet. I was so today, honestly, I've been thinking about what to say, and I've been wandering around the house, humming to myself, "Dory, Dory, hallelujah." I've known Davina since she was elected, not actually that long ago, but honestly, the longer I have known her, the more I've liked her, and the more there is to like. We have a fair number of things in common. Love of dogs. I quite enjoy a curry. A great respect for pearls. And I can also say that when she's hopefully sitting in your chair, that we know that underneath her robes will always be several rows of pearls. And maybe she'll become known as the first pearly queen of North Warwickshire. We haven't had one of those. Beyond anything else, though, she's a committed counsellor, committed to looking after her ward, committed to heritage, and she's one of that elusive, exclusive group known as the planning geeks. The first planning geek mayor. Now, golly, that's beyond an accolade. We already know, Madam Mayor, some of what to expect from Davina. I think she's been a great support to you. She really works hard. And I know she's already planning a great year ahead. I was interested when Brian was saying that Davina always is professional and appropriate. I can't be the only member here to remember last Christmas when she shared the chief executive across her government. You keep me appear under the gown, I wonder. Yes, I am looking forward to the future. Davina will be, and Davina ably abetted by Steve, will bring a great deal to the civic life of the borough. Between them, they will bring a lot of charm, a lot of wit, maybe a bit of walking football, but I genuinely am looking forward to it. And I would encourage everyone not to vote for the fat one, but to vote for the black one.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other nominations?
That's good luck, isn't
Is there anybody else that would like to speak? No? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Nomination, congratulations. Just to echo the words about your professionalism. I know you perhaps, you know, you're not our colour, but you've always been professional. We've worked really well together. You know, I'd like your passion about, you know, violence against women and children. And I know that certainly that comes from your sort of career before you came into this chamber. So congratulations and look forward to working with you next year.
Thank you very much. Can we take a vote then, please? All those in favour? Any against? Any abstained? No, unanimous. Congratulations.
I, Davina Mary Ridley, having been elected to the office of Mayor of North Warwickshire Borough Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you. We're just going to take a few moments now to leave the pearls on, but put the gown on. Thank you all. We won't be too long. Thank you.
Order, the mayor. She wears it well.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, few words then, so you've all got to listen. Isn't it dreadful? A heartfelt thank you to absolutely everybody that showed confidence in me and to represent North Warwickshire as your mayor, because I am your mayor for the whole of the chamber, for everybody. And I'm honoured to be given your assent to perform the role. And I promise you that I will serve you to the best of my ability and shine a light on our fantastic North Warwickshire Borough Council, just as the previous mayor did. I'd like to say thank you to all those in the cheap seats at the back, family and friends. Thank you for coming. It's lovely to see you here. The first thing I need to do as mayor is to sincerely thank our retiring mayor for the dedication and hard work that she's committed to during her year. I was privileged to share some events with her, and I can honestly and truly say that her warm and engaging personality won her and this council many, many friends. She quite simply will be a very, very hard act to follow. I would also like to thank councillors Byron Melia and Mark Simpson for their kind words, which I should try to live up to. I'm not sure that Councillor Melia's, she's got life experience with that. But that's kind, and I will try and wear the pearls whenever I can. Considering it is quite nerve-wracking, this. It is really quite nerve-wracking. I've given evidence at Court 1 of the Old Bailey, and I've never been as nervous as I am now. Considering my response tonight, I looked at the role of a civic mayor. In a ceremonial and civic leadership, you act as first citizen, representing the borough at events, hosting visitors, supporting charities, fostering community pride and chairing full council meetings. It said nothing, absolutely nothing, about making sure you do not get Councillor Simmons and Simpson mixed up. According to Councillor Simpson, one of them has a very large handbag. Or you don't, it just said nothing about getting mixed up 2 Andys, Bills and Wright, 3 Davids, Riley Humphreys, 2 Neils, Chapman Derlicks, 2 Watsons, Stephen Martin, and 2 Phillips, Hayden and Owen. So if I do make a mistake, please bear with me and correct me, and I'll be happy to rectify that mistake. I was a little bit concerned about the legalities of the role, because it is quite a big responsibility, standing orders and such. But Debbie assured me the chief executive is a trained lawyer, and he's very supportive. So she told me just to pop in and see him. So I did. I called into Mr. Max's office, and I thought, being a lawyer, he might charge a fee. So I said to Mr. Maxi, I need some advice. How much do you charge? He replied, £500 for 3 questions. I said, Steve, don't you think that's a lot of money for 3 questions? He said to me, yes. Now, what's your 3rd question? I want to also say a big thank you to the Mayor's Office, Kirsty and Victoria, who do a great job of marshalling us and arranging events, and to all the officers who have supported me in every capacity throughout the year. When I've forgotten something, if something's happened, something's gone wrong, they've always been there to make sure everything runs smoothly. I've given a great deal of consideration to my 2 charities for this year. I've decided on 2. One of them is the North Warwickshire Veterans Hubs, as one of my charities, which I know a previous mayor supported. We have at Dordon Parish Village Hall the Tam Webster Veterans Group, which provides remarkable support services and forms part of the North Warwickshire Veterans Hub with its sister hub in Atherstone. So we will definitely be supporting that charity this year. And like our retiring mayor, I wanted to support a cancer charity. My mum, Sheila, who we lost only a few weeks ago, held an annual garden party in her bungalow garden in Polesworth. Every year she did it, and she grew and sold plants, had guessed the weight of the cake, raffles and tombolas, and year on year increased the donation she made to the cancer charity. As a thank you to my mum for being such a wonderful lady, I'm supporting an organisation which was given charity status in January of this year. I supported Jess's Journey Foundation as part of Dordon Parish Council and Dordon Angels, and I think some of our Polesworth and Dordon councillors are very familiar with the very worthwhile charity. The cancer charity is dedicated to supporting children and young people diagnosed with cancer, along with their families. and its practical, emotional and financial assistance during challenging times. So I'll be organising fundraising events personally and online in the coming months. And I know I can count on all of your support to raise monies and help these fantastic and worthwhile charities. Finally, the aims of this borough are to protect the area's rurality, support its communities and promote the residents' well-being. I'm sure that everyone in this chamber agrees with these aims for our residents. We may come at the problems from a different angle, and sometimes we don't agree. But do you know what? We all share the same passion, and I've seen it time and time again demonstrated in this chamber. So I would finally like to say, with the fate of this council still in the balance, really, this may be our last 12 months, 24 months. We've got no idea yet. I hope that we as a council together can achieve as much as possible for our respective towns, villages and communities, and that we can say we were proud to have served on North Warwickshire Borough Council, because I blinking well know that we all are. So thank you very much, everybody. So I'd like to present some badges to the retiring mayor and mayoress. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much for your service. The retiring mayor, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much. So it has truly been an honour to serve as mayor for North Warwickshire. And while I do not want to take up too much of everybody's time this evening, I would like to pause and take a moment to reflect on our borough and our communities, and to acknowledge and thank a few people. During my time as mayor, one thing has been evident in every visit across the borough, and that is of our shared identity and the spirit of togetherness that defines us. It is the generosity and compassion beyond measure found in the hearts and hands of those who give their time, energy and care, not for recognition, but because they believe in building a stronger, kinder and more connected community, and build it they certainly do. When I first became mayor, I was often asked, where is North Warwickshire? I was always proud to reply that North Warwickshire is where we create spaces so people can connect and feel a genuine sense of belonging. It's where we support our neighbours through challenging times, protect our environment, celebrate our businesses and social enterprises, preserve our heritage, and foster joy, learning and friendship across our villages and towns. And it is this shared commitment to one another that turns everyday moments into something meaningful, whether that is a community group opening its doors, a volunteer offering a helping hand, or a local business backing a good cause. This is a place defined not only by where we are on the map, but by the values we live: kindness, resilience, and a willingness to pull together. As mayor, I have attended over 100 events, and I've had the privilege of witnessing that dedication firsthand, often in quiet corners and behind the scenes, yet always making a significant impact. I have seen the remarkable resilience of our residents and the differences our communities make every day. Throughout my term, my aim has always been to celebrate all that is wonderful about North Warwickshire and to support our charities and unsung heroes by sharing their stories, shining a spotlight on their work and raising funds for community organisations, charities and groups so that they can continue their incredible work. Over the year, with your support, I have raised £4,376.31, which I hope will make a little difference. And the Mayor's Office will share a simple grant form over the next few days, enabling organisations and groups to apply for this funding. There are so many people I would like to express my gratitude to, including Councillor Davina Ridley and Steve, her consort, to Steve Maxey for his guidance and patience with me, especially during full council, Kirsty and Victoria, for all of their support in managing bookings and helping to organise events. To fellow parish and borough mayor councillors, my employer and colleagues at Witton Lodge Community Association, including Afsal, Linda, Tracy and the fabulous Dal, for all their donations and support. John and Sonia from JTS Chauffeur Services for taking such care of me to drive me to certain venues and events. And of course, fellow mayors for their friendship, encouragement and for many happy memories. Finally, as many of you will know, I don't know how I'm going to do this. My biggest support friend and partner, Jason, passed away in November. And I owe so much to my family and friends, but most of all to my children, my official mayoress, Eloise, to Chloe and Daniel, who stood beside me and attended nearly every event and got fully involved, whether they liked it or not, in every fundraising activity that I did, even dressing up as Santa and Mrs. Claus. I couldn't have done it without you all, so thank you. I'm profoundly honoured to have served as your mayor, and I wish the councillor, Davina Ridley, every success. You will be amazing. Thank you.
Anybody like to say any words? Councillor James.
Thank you, Mayor. And congratulations on your election. I think you'll be a fantastic mayor for us. You've shown that as in your role as deputy mayor. I would just like to propose a vote of thanks to Guy Mayor Debbie. I think Debbie's done a fantastic job as mayor. We've heard just what some of the things she's done, and I don't think anybody can doubt that she's been a great representative of this council and of our borough. And she really has done much to, I think, increase the profile of our borough across the county and certainly locally. There's hardly weeks gone by, I think, where Debbie hasn't been at some function or other or representing the council as a civic event. Often it's been more than we all get the lists of what the mayor's going to be doing, and it's always a busy schedule, but it has been very busy schedule for Debbie. So yeah, I would just like to propose a vote of thanks, and yeah, I think I don't know what you're going to do with yourself now, Debbie. But thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Debbie.
That's a hobby.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for the first time. I just want to say, Debbie, what a wonderful job you've done. I can remember when you were elected and Andy did a wonderful speech about you. It was really lovely. But as a mum of daughters, to see your face that day when you stood with your own daughter, if you've got a heart of stone, it would have been shattered that day. Like, to see how proud you were to stand there with your daughter, it was just, we were all getting a bit, teary. You've done an amazing job as mayor, and I will stick to what I say every time I'm talking about you when you're at an event. You are all right for a Tory. So well done, and for all the really, really tough times that you've had, you've been a strong woman, and I think, speaking on behalf of all of us in this chamber, you are the grassroots councillor, and it's what we can all sort of look up to as public servants. So well done.
Thank you.
Well said.
Councillor Simpson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to say thank you to to Debbie. It's a great year. You've been a credit to yourself and an incredible credit to us. A tremendous year. Really, really well done. I'm sure we've all got memories of highlights of your year. Personally, it was one of extremes. The heat of being hurled around the dance floor by Margaret. I stood on two legs after all that. Slightly lack of heat at your church service, only outweighed by the warmth of the congregational welcome. Really, really well done. An excellent job. You've been a credit to all of us. Thank you.
Councillor Stewart.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Congratulations. Just to echo everything that's said, first of all, I want to second Andy's motion for a vote of thanks. There's no one has yet. That's okay. But Debbie, an amazing job. And not only to end the year, but in delivering what was talk about Heart of Stone. Again, I've seen some acts of bravery in this chamber, but that was amongst there. And also, I would like to pass on the thanks for obviously the support that's been given to you by your family and friends who are a credit to you, and you've been a credit to them and to everyone else in this chamber. Thank you ever so much for a wonderful job throughout the year and for representing us so well, you know, not only in here, but externally and to the borough and to the nation as a whole. And I hope you enjoy everything that come forward as well. The other thing is that the behaviours in this chamber are not always everything that they should be. And, you know, and over time, no, I wasn't looking at it. Not at all. I was taking in the whole room. Sorry, everyone. But the last year, I think things have been considerably better in that kind of regard. You know, in the febrile atmosphere that occasionally does take over, and I think that comes something from your calmness and assurance that's delivered from the chair as well. So, on that kind of regard, I think we all owe you here a vote of thanks to enable us to carry out our business in a way that actually allows us to project ourselves to the public in that kind of way. So thank you very much.
Councillor Waffles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And exiting Madam Mayor. I remember saying girl power when it happened last year, and I have to say what a formidable pair you both been there. But Debbie, thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of Danielle and her family for Jessie's journey, because I know that when you went there and spent a lot of time there with Danielle and the bond that you created there, I think obviously Davina knows the family as from Dorden and Polesworth, so a bit of a spread over there. So I'm absolutely in awe, and I'm tearing up here thanking you both. But other than that, thank you.
Is there anybody else who'd like to say anything? Now we move to item agenda number 3. Apologies for absence, members away, unofficial calls.
Apologies from councillors Osborne, Hayden Phillips and Owen Phillips and councillor Smith.
Accepted. Item number 4, declarations of personal and prejudicial interest. Are there any? No? Thank you. Item number 5, to move and sign minutes of the last meeting.
Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Item number 6 is to appoint the deputy mayor. Have I got any nominations? Councillor Clues.
Congratulations, Madam Mayor. I'd like to propose that Councillor Sandra Smith be position of deputy mayor. Sandra served many years in the NHS as a nurse, And I know taking that knowledge as the chair of the Health and Wellbeing group, I've had feedback how well she runs it with her knowledge as well. She's a solid counsellor, friendly with everybody, as I know, and she's always there if you need any knowledge. It's just a shame that today is her birthday, so she's not here. But thank you very much.
We got a seconder for that nomination. Councillor Simmons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and got it right first time. Go straight to the top of the leaderboard. I'd like to support Councillor Sandra Smith as well. I think she'll be an excellent deputy to you, and I think she's got a lot to offer. She's a great councillor in this chamber, a great friend to many, and a great community advocate. And I think she'd be great support. Again, as Councillor Clues has alluded to, she's got a wealth of experience in her NHS nursing career. She's great with people, and maybe not rely on her for directions, but apart from that, but she'd be an excellent support to you.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? Does anybody else wish to speak? Then, so can we take a vote? All those in favour? All those against? All those abstentions? Okay, thank you very much. That's carried. Councillor Smith as Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Number 7. You'll be glad to hear it's to receive the Mayor's announcements. So I haven't actually got any announcements to make. You'll be glad to know. The only announcement I have, which may be of interest, especially to those sitting in the cheap seats, is that there are refreshments outside afterwards, and everybody is welcome to partake of some light refreshment and a little liquid pick you up. All right, it'd be nice to see everybody. Thank you. Item number 8, to decide in accordance with Standing Order number 23.2, the number of members on each of the following for the ensuing year. Yeah, we should have them in front of you on the green pages on your desks. Yeah, thank you.
I'll propose that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Have we got a seconder? That's a Simmons, thank you. All those in favour? Or would you like?
Would you like to
speak?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just in relation to the recommendations, I noticed as well that we're looking at the outside interests and outside boards, and I'm very grateful to the legal counsel for this call earlier today to discuss this. Just one item I'm just wondering is that you don't necessarily receive reports from these outside bodies or even notice of attendance, which at the client's representation, I think it'd be very, very key for our residents to know that they are being actively represented on these boards. And I'm just wondering whether there can be any more formal kind of either reporting mechanism either for that or for attendance to the members.
Yeah, we can certainly take that away, Councillor Stewart, and discuss that and come back to you with an answer on that one.
Madam Mayor.
Councillor Simpson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I note there is a change in the proposed membership of the Planning and Development Board. So can I take this opportunity to say a heartfelt thank you to Councillor Reary for her service on the board. It's a shame for all the years, but we genuinely look forward to seeing Councillor Jackson. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right, would you like to put that to the vote? All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. So item number 9 now. I will get quicker as we go along, I promise you. The only thing is, I keep sitting on my sleeves. Item number 9, to authorise the chief executive in accordance with Article 1305 of the Omnibus. Thank you. All those in favour? It's quick, thank you. So number 10, exclusion of the public and press. To consider in accordance with section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972, whether it is in public interest that the public and press be excluded from the meeting for the following item of business, on the grounds that it involves the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined by Schedule 12A to the Act.
Second.
Thank you. Second, all those in favour? And that's carried. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, yeah.